Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be profiling a deck that I have been playing around a lot with recently. It's a deck that I've wanted to build for a very long time, and I finally got around to building it. And that is the Utopia deck. Yes, Utopia.deck, aka Lightning.deck, whatever you want to call it. Mainly it's a Utopia deck that goes for Utopia, the Lightning, and Utopia Zexal. If you guys don't know who Utopia Zexal is, if you were playing competitive a while ago, a lot of Magician Pendulum decks were playing with this card, and you can easily make it in this deck as well. So I've been wanting to build this deck for a very long time. When Utopia the Lightning originally got announced, it piqued my interest. I had always been interested in building a Utopia deck, but Lightning came out and I was like, okay, I'll build the deck now. But Lightning, when it came out as a manga promo, was around $20 to $30, and you need 2 to 3 of them. And I was like, for a fun deck, that's not worth it. So when Utopia the Lightning got reprinted as a special edition, I was like, great, I'll build it now. But it only got printed as a special edition for Europe. So eventually, when the Kaiba collection got printed, guys, I finally said, now is the time to build Utopia, because Utopia had a massive reprint to some degree in the Kaiba collection. So now that it's gone down in price, I was able to build the deck. So without further ado, let's get into the deck. We'll talk about all the different cards you can play in the deck, all the different other cards you can play in the deck that I don't run, and just how the deck functions as a whole. So first card we run, guys, is Star Drawing. Now Star Drawing has been running Utopia since the beginning of time. It's kind of like a mini draw engine. I love the cute artwork. I actually have my supers from Astro Pack from back in the day. I love them. But yes, pretty much this card states, when you XYZ using this card, draw 1 card. Pretty straightforward there. The fact that it is a spellcaster plays into the way the deck functions as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Next we run Double Summoner Monk. This is another way to rank 4 in the deck. You will sometimes have dead spells in your hand. We don't run really any traps in the deck. If I didn't mention already, the deck is 40 cards. 40 cards. But if you run out, if you are having trouble, like say maybe you don't even have a dead spell in your hand, you can literally just normal summon the Summoner Monk, special summon one of these other monsters we'll be talking about in a second, such as Gigabyte or Anarakiri, and you can then go for your rank 4 play like that. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use it. You could use Summoner Monk to tutor out a stall drawing to get a draw +1, so you pretty much broke even. But you gotta watch out, because hand traps can be bad on Summoner Monk, and I've had people kind of baited them. They're like, I'll be like, normal summon Summoner Monk, and they're like, before I even activate its effect, they'll just use a hand trap. I'm like, wait, I haven't even activated its effect yet. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, do you want to activate it? I'm like, no. Special summon, Gigabyte, go for rank 4 that way. So if you use it right, it can be, you can bait people out to some degree, because people are very quick on the trigger nowadays with card effects. Next we have a Performapal engine. Now if Damage Juggler goes back from freaking 1 of to 3 of, you run 3 Damage Juggler in this deck. If it is goes to 3 of, you run 3 of it. What would I take out? Maybe the Summoner Monk. Just saying. I may take out the Summoner Monk engine, or I may take out like 10 Goldfish, which I run in the deck, for Performapal Damage Juggler, because it's so good in the deck because of the little mini Performapal engine we run. So 1 Damage Juggler, because it's at 1 right now. If it goes to more than 1, great. We run 1 Trick Clown as well, because Trick Clown can help with rank 4s, can help with Link fodder. We don't run Links in the deck, but I'm waiting for a generic Link 2 that's coming out, I think, in a month or 2, and a Link structure deck. It's just like got 2 down pointing arrows, generic Link 2. You can run that in the deck. That way you can make Utopia Zexal, Utopia the Lightning, and do stupid stuff. But when that comes out, Trick Clown will be a little bit better. Next we run also the other Performer pages, the Hat Tricker. Hat Tricker is amazing in this deck. Think of this card as the New Age Kageto Kage. That's what it was when it originally came out. But it's a really, really, really good card, because if I'm going second, which this deck wants to do, I just normal summon a stall drawing, or if they have more than 2, they already have 2 monsters in the field, I'll just special summon this right away. Or I could just normal summon my own monster if they already have a monster on the field, and then special summon Hat Tricker, and then go for my rank 4s, and la-di-da-di-da, be on my way. The other cool thing is this card works well against Trick Stars, from what I remember playing against a tournament a couple of weeks ago. So it's really good in that aspect, which is kind of nice. But the card overall is pretty good because it is also a spellcaster. So you can just free special summon this, special summon Gigabyte, and then you still have a normal summon that you can commit to. So you could be like Goblinberg or something, go for a rank, a generic rank 2, and then go for your rank 4 play. So I may bump this up to 3 of when we get more cards out in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But for right now, I like it as 2 of. It just depends if when Damage Juggle goes back from 1 of to 3 of, if it does. We will probably play more of a Performapal page mage engine in the deck, because that will work very well with it. But for right now, just 2 Hat Tricker. Because it's a spellcaster, they work well. So like I said, we've talked about all these different spellcasters that we run in the deck. And then we run some cards that work well with them, which is Gigabyte, which we run as a 3 of. So Gigabyte we run as a 3 of in the deck, as well as 2 Inarakiri. So pretty much Gigabyte can float into Inarakiri, which is nice. And Inarakiri, I think, if I remember correctly, can reoccur Gigabyte, something of that nature. You could run Nefarious Archfiend as a 1 of if you wanted to in the deck, but I didn't want to overclog with these cards because they can become dead. If you don't have a spellcaster, they're not as good in the deck. They just become these monsters that you're like, okay, I can use Goblinberg with 10 Goldfish to bring these things out and then go for rank 4 that way. Not the most optimal way, but the ratio of spellcasters to these guys is fairly good if you've seen the deck profile so far. So these help with rank 4s. They can put in that little extra damage if you're trying to go for game. They're good overall to have. Next up, we run double Goblinberg and double 10 Goldfish. These are just other ways that you can go for rank 4s. Because yes, the spellcaster, Gigabyte engine and Arakiri engine, it's good. But sometimes you just need those generic rank 4 playmakers, like Summon a Monk, which is why we run it. It's just better because it's a spellcaster. Goblinberg and 10 Goldfish, just because. More rank 4 fodder. Now you could run 3 Goblinberg and 1 10 Goldfish. It's up to you, but I just like running 2 and 2. It works out fairly well. And Goblinberg you can add from your deck to your hand using Rhoda. So, yeah. You can also run Photon Thrasher as well. It's another warrior, so it's up to you how you want to play around with the deck in its rank 4 playmaking abilities. Different people have different ways they run it. Now let's go into the ZW engine of the deck. Now ZWs, if you guys are not familiar with, these are equipped type of monsters that you can equip from the field or the hand to your Utopia monsters. Because your entire deck, for the most part, yes, we have my ultimate Utopia here. Looks so beautiful. You can pretty much equip them to all your extra deck monsters, except one of the number monsters we have in the deck. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. So ZW pretty much states, so say you have Lightning on the field, all right? So I have Utopia the Lightning with all his materials, etc., etc. Okay, so you have his materials attached. I can equip ZW, and then I can attack all my opponent's monsters. So I detach my 2, attack for 5,000 on that one monster, 5,000 on that monster, 5,000 on his third monster. This, equipped with a Lightning, can literally clear boards, just straight up. You can be like, oh, they have a big, 3-card board. Okay, attack that, attack that, attack that, attack that. It just amazingly works well in the deck. The fact that it can be equipped from the hand and the field works well because remember how I was saying earlier with Summon a Monk. Because Summon a Monk is a spellcaster. So you could pitch your spell. So you can normal summon a Monk. Then I could special summon Gigabyte, or I can Narakiri. Then I could pitch a dead spell, bring out ZW, okay? Go for my rank 4 Utopia play, and then equip eventually the ZW card to that Utopia, if I don't have Utopia in hand. So there's a little bit of different things you can use with Summon a Monk to go for the ZW, little ZW package we have here. This is the best ZW card, I would say. The other ZW card I run as a 1-of is ZW Lightning. Now, people like Tornado Dragon because it protects protection. It gives you non-targeting. Your opponent can't target it. But this, in the age of things can be destroyed very easily in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Regeki, Dark Hole, Kaiju Slumber, this and that, and what have you. This card is pretty good. You gain 1,200 attack, and on top of that, it protects your monster from being destroyed, and if it would be destroyed, you can detach this card from that's equipped to it to protect your monster. Pretty good. So I do like this card. The only downside of this card, and the reason we don't run it as more of a than one of, as you can see, it's a level 5, and that is the downside. So I do like it as a one of. You could run Tornado, you could run another ZW, you could run a trap card like Solemn Judgment if you wanted to. But me, from playing the deck, I really like the Lightning. It really comes in handy in certain situations. So really good card. If you get it with a Utopia card, it will pay off. Especially if you get it with Zexal. You can protect your Zexal. So, and Zexal can be like sitting there having a little bit more attack that makes it harder. It lasts longer on the field. And on top of that, it can protect, have a little bit more attack. So it works very, very well with Zexal as well. Next, we run your standard hand traps, I would say. Your double Ash Blossom, your double Drill and Lock. You could run Ogre, you can run whatever. If you want to run more Ash, run more Ash. If you want to run more Drill, run more Drill. It's up to you how you want to run this deck. This deck is fairly competitive, and the fact that people are not running Ghost Ogre right now is good. And this deck really has a good draw engine, which we're going to talk about right now. So we already talked about star drawing and how that works with the deck, okay? There's another draw-esque card in the deck called XYZ Change Tactics. This card can help you go +2 to +3 sometimes. So let's talk about this. XYZ Change Tactics. Pay 500 life points when you have a Utopia on the so when you XYZ a Utopia monster, pay 500 life points, draw a card. That sounds pretty good, but how can you use it, Seto? Okay, let me explain here. So let's say we have Goblinberg and we got Star Drawing in hand, okay? So I go Goblinberg, activate XYZ Change Tactics. Goblinberg, Star Drawing. Exceed. I go into regular Utopia, all right? Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Draw 1 card, okay? I'm going to put the cards up here. Draw 1 card. Draw another card for XYZ Change Tactics by paying 500. Then we're going to go, let's say, Chaos Form. Pay 500 again. Get another draw. Then we're going to go into Lightning. Pay 500. Get another draw. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards you just drew using this card and Star Drawing. And if you don't even have the Star Drawing, that's still 3 draws. And say maybe you had to use a certain card to search out XYZ Change Tactics, that's still 2 cards you drew for free by paying 1,000 life points. I'm not going to complain about that any day of the week. So this card, XYZ Change Tactics, is very, very, very essential to how the deck can draw stuff. Now we do have generic draw power in the deck because that is necessary to have, but this card's really good, and you can use it. You can search it out through using Generation Force. And remember how I said you can still get a +2 because you need to have an XYZ monster on the field. So say you went for you had to go for standard Utopia before you activated Generation Force. That's fine. I'm still going to be going up 2 more, go into 2 more Utopias, which means I'm still going to get 2 free draws. I'm not going to complain about that any day of the week. But Generation Force is just another way to search your XYZ Change Tactics out. And you can search other XYZ cards out, but Tactics by far is the best. So yeah, Generation Force and 3 XYZ Change Tactics. If any of these cards get dead, pitch them with Summoner Monk. Next up, we have a card that recently came out of Battles of Legend, which I've been trying out, and I'm really, 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 really liking it. Now, you could run Judgment, you could run Traps, you could run more hand traps, whatever the case may be. But this card works well in this deck, so I'm going to read to you what it says here. If you control no monsters, target one number XYZ monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, then draw 1 card. more draw power for the deck on top of having a little bit of setup. That's cool. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one number XYZ monster you control. Attach one card from your hand, so any card from your hand, to it as material. Alright, you may say, well, that's not that good. I don't know. Well, it gets better because your entire extra deck is number monsters. S39. S0. That's a number S0. Standard Utopia. Number C39 Utopia. Number S39 Utopia Prime. Okay. Oh, number 39 Utopia Beyond. Oh, number 99 Utopic Dragon. And oh, looky here. Bagasucha is a number. Number 41 Bagasucha. Now, you could run other good XYZ cards. You could run Tornado Dragon and other cards like that. But this card really plays good because a lot of the time you're only summoning one big monster on the field. If that monster gets destroyed, I can be, okay, activate Glorious Numbers, bring back Standard Utopia, get my +1 draw, and just go up until my, my Lightning or my S Utopia, whatever the case may be. Or you can just use, if you're able to go for another rank 4, you can be like, okay, I go for my standard rank 4 play, and then I just have, 5,000, I have 4,000 attack monster, and then this, I can attack twice per game, whatever the case may be. It just helps you put more board presence on the field. On top of that, you can use it to just go into other Exceed monsters. And the fact that you can bring back Bagasucha, that's just icing on the cake. The card's really good. It does take some setup. I would at least say try it as a 1-of. You will find that it's pretty good. I've been trying it with a 2-of recently. I took Solemn Judgment out because Solemn Judgment's a great card, but this is a going second deck. It's not really a going first deck. If you're going first, you're trying to make S Utopia, S Zexal Utopia. If you're going second, you're going for Lightning most of the time. So that's why I'm trying to make this a going second deck, and this really helps out with recovery options in the deck. Glorious Numbers. Really good card. Next we run 2 Astral Rank Up Force. We would run Argent Chaos Force, and there's a bunch of different ones you could run. Quick Chaos. There's a lot of them. Numeron Force, whatever you want to run. The reason we run Astro is because you can pitch it when it's in graveyard. You can add it back to your hand. Yes, you don't get a draw. Yes, you really can't special summon that turn, but it can really come in handy in clutch situations. So that's where I like running 2 of these. You're mainly using these to help go for Zexal and Utopic Dragon, as well as you can use this card to help go into Utopia Beyond. So it's a good card to have. If Quick Up Argent Chaos Force wasn't banned, we'd probably use that instead. Next we run 1 Pod Desires, 1 Upstart Goblin, 1 Rhoda. This is just some generic draw and search power the deck has. Upstart Goblin, Rhoda. You guys know that. Next up we got some just last 1-ofs. We have Monster Reborn and Regeki. So just good generic cards to have. So let's go into the extra deck now, guys, quickly. We have 3 Utopia Lightning. As you can see here, we have in the middle, we have my ultimate rare Utopia the Lightning, which I'm so happy I got. It looks so amazing. It's from the OPS packs, as you guys know. But yeah, it looks so beautiful. We actually get to use that in the deck. But 3 Utopia the Lightning. You could run 2 to 3. I prefer 3 because I like this deck going second, and sometimes it's just good to slap on a Utopia Lightning if I'm just trying to go for game. So 3 Lightning. You could run 2 to 3. If you want to run like Tornado Dragon or other things. 2 Zexal, you can run 1 to 2. I prefer 2 because I usually find myself making 2 sometimes in a duel. So 2 S0 Utopia Zexal. This card can win you games straight up because it's such a powerful card. Next up we have our standard Utopias. We have to run 3 of them. You need to run 3 standard Utopias. I know it's not great, but it's your building block, and heck, with XYZ's change tactics, it's a +1 draw. W Utopia Ray, W Utopia Prime, these are your stepping stones into your bigger cards, plus with XYZ change tactics, it's another draw. On top of that, if your life points are low enough, you do get to use these cards. Don't forget that these cards have effects that can be used if you have low life points. Please don't forget that. Some people that have loaned this deck to, they forget that, and they lose the game because of that. Lastly, we run Utopia Beyond. This you can use with Utopia's Astral Force to go into this. You can pitch your rank up card to go into Utopia Dragon, which comes in handy. And lastly, we run one Bagasucha, because Bagasucha can put in work and it's a number monster. But like I said earlier, if you wanted to, you could run other cards. But Utopic Dragon, remember this is not a Utopia card, this is Utopic. So you can't use it with XYZ change tactics from what I've been told. So yep, that is the deck in a nutshell. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I know that this video went a little bit longer than normal, but till next time guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you. Hope you enjoyed this video.